expertise and my experiences on the power of networking. So welcome to our live viewers taking some time to listen to what I have to share right now. And if you're replaying watching this on replay, it's going to be saved on the group. Please hashtag replay for us. So the power of networking, I've created a little presentation for you all that I'm going to share with you. Let me see if we have anyone so far on the group. Let me open my good morning, good morning, good morning. Fantastic. So let's head over to see. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Vicky. I'm going to start the little presentation. I'm aware of the time. I'm going to spend 30 minutes with you. So let me share my screen now and get straight into it. I'm sure you want to know a lot of it. It will help you in your work. It will help you in your life and in your small business if you are a small business owner. So let's bring up the presentation for you now. Here we go. Ready for it? So when we talk about networking, straight away some people have fears and blocks. Let me put this on screen. So some people might think of networking as it triggers fear of rejection, not enjoying talking to people you don't know, uncomfortable talking about yourself, lack of knowledge regarding the process of networking or the experience, the practice of networking, the structure, the confidence, being business ready, and not enjoying the process of networking itself, not knowing where to start. So those things might come to mind when you think of networking and so many other things. So how do we turn this fear of rejection, not comfortable networking, not enjoying networking, not participating at all in the end, or not even attending? How do we transform this in something that you enjoy doing, look forward to it, having a clear game plan, feeling comfortable, growing your network, growing and having more opportunities, and possibly getting referrals and leads as well. So let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Ariane. I run a small business consultancy firm in West London, and I deliver all my services online with a four-step clear system to get small business entrepreneurs get started and move forward with their business. But before that, I have worked in the corporate industry, and I have run a previous business as well. So I have quite a lot of a variety of experiences. This is why today I'm able to put all this together in my business consultancy firm. And believe it or not, a few years ago, I used to be quite shy and uncomfortable at networking events. I was worried about not knowing what to talk about, and I would usually get bored and feel that it would be a waste of time. I just didn't understand a lot of the things that I mentioned earlier were exactly where I was standing not a few years ago. And I remember this very clearly. This is when I was working in Regis service offices as a center manager, and networking was part of the culture. It was part of the business where we were encouraged by higher up to organize networking events between our clients and also between other businesses to not only create a community feel, but possibly generate business leads. And at the time, I didn't understand networking. I didn't enjoy networking. I didn't look forward to networking. And this has dramatically changed over the years because I am now the founder of a Women in Business networking local association called the Gaia Network in West London. And we also deliver events online. We have one networking event online tomorrow. It's open to women in business, entrepreneurs, startups, small business owners. You are very welcome to join us tomorrow online. I also attend a lot of networking events online. I fully enjoy it. And I also run business groups online with TCGM Consultancy. So let's start and dive into the first thing. The most important thing is, why is networking important? The people with strongest networks are the ones with the most opportunities available to them. So you remember the quote from Portugal, your network is your net worth, and it's absolutely correct. For many reasons. First of all, if you think about it, it will help you build your confidence. Remember, in order to grow, you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So it will help you grow as a person in life, at work, and in business, building your confidence, interacting with strangers, slowly with practice, obviously. You will also grow your network, your circle. I call it your circle. It will also help you have a separate support network from maybe your family. So having an additional one, creating an additional circle to what you already have. Networking will allow you to generate new perspective on things. Sharing perspective. People come from different backgrounds, different cultures, have different experiences. All of that makes them who they are. And when you network with a variety of different network groups or environments, really it creates that diversity. Being able to help others also feels great when you connect with new people and they reach out for a referral or an advice, recommendation. It feels great to be able to help people. But most of all, networking helps you create new opportunities. If you are currently in a job and you wish to move forward with your current position, networking is very important. You need to increase your circle. You need to create new opportunities. If you are working for yourself as a business owner or entrepreneur, this is even more important, because I realized this when I set up my first business a few years back, where you have really to rely on your network as a small business owner. Networking will help you create work collaboration. Here today is a fantastic example where we get collaborating with other professionals, sharing different expertise, different skills, and different experiences. It's really important to have this wide circle of network experts in your circle to whom you can reach out. And last but not least, creating possible leads. So if you are at work, that was the case when I was back then a center manager for Regis, where we were involved in sales. We were really encouraged to create new relationships, new connections for possible leads at work. And this applies to small business owners and entrepreneurs as well. Not every connection obviously might become a lead, but they could well become referrals, people who might recommend your company if you're working for a company, or your business if you are a small business owner. So those are the big whys of why networking is important, and I think you really have to keep that in mind. So now, don't worry, all of what I'm covering is going to be in a summary checklist that you can download in the group under the units. I think mine is unit 4. You'll find it under my name, so you can download the checklist that we are going to go through now. So now that you understand the why behind of networking, I hope anyway, let's dive in and start with the number one tip of networking. I'm going to share 10 of those, 10 tips of effective networking, making it more enjoyable, structured and effective networking. So we talked about it earlier, fear of rejection. This is a big block for a lot of people. So this comes under the banner of mindset. Everything starts in your thoughts. So your thoughts create your reality. You could very well use affirmations, but most of all, actions. You have to battle your mind. In a similar way, getting up in the morning as soon as your alarm clock rings, it's a battle of the mind. And you can revert this with action, taking action. Tip number 2, fighting the not being comfortable feeling. So to fight it, you have to, fighting it or not fighting it, it will happen with practice. There is no secret. What is being practiced will feel easier, and it will become with less effort. So practice, practice, practice. Try not to be someone that you're not. Be yourself. Express yourself the way you would. Be authentic. And if you still don't feel comfortable going to those places, networking online or offline, it might be a good idea to go with someone at the beginning. Tip number 3, not enjoying networking. Simply see it, again, a mindset point. See it as a new way to meet people, meeting new people. Transform it as a game as well. Why not transform it as a game? How many people can you engage with during a networking? But remember, it's not a number game, it's a quality connection. So yes, you can see it as a game. How many people can I speak to? Just to help you push yourself a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's quality, not quantity. Not participating. So going back to what we started with, remind yourself the purpose of networking. And you can refer back to it a bit later. Moving on to tip number 5, we're moving on to confidence issues. So you still don't feel confident, and you decided that you are not going to go. You might even cancel last minute. How many people actually booked events and at the very last minute canceled because they didn't feel like going? So one of the ways you could work with this is take action. Plan it, practice, practice, practice. Put it in your diary and do not cancel it. Make sure that you go. Book the relevant networkings in advance. Add it in your calendar. Talking about calendar, that's another freebie that we have. That's a freebie we have in the units for you to download, in addition to the checklist summary that we have. So plan your networking events. Maybe start with one every 2 months. or one a month. Make sure that you select those that are relevant for you. And if it's at work, then sometimes you simply don't have any choice. Worried about being bored? That's tip number 6. If you're worried being bored, have a game plan, have a networking strategy. We mentioned this earlier. How many people can you meet? It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about finding the balance. Use it as a little game. Try to remember people's names when you address them. So that's another little game that you can use during networking events. Listen to what they say, and be business curious. Have a genuine conversation with people. Really relax. Be yourself. Be professional, but be yourself. Listen and be business curious. Try to, as a game plan, try to remember people's names and retain what a few bullet points allocated to that person. For example, what are those people? How can they be remembered? Very simply. Be prepared. Be prepared. This is something that I always remind my clients. Be prepared. Practice your intro line, but don't sell. So what is it that you do if you go to a networking event for work? Then you probably have been given a description of your business tagline, description that you can use. But if you're a business owner, this is something that you really have to work on and prepare. Practice at home, whether you're working for a company or for your business. Practice at home. Practice introducing what you do and what your business does or your company does. Practice at home. Don't sell. Don't just sell the tagline and the description. Explain as you would what it is that your company or your business does, as you would to a friend over coffee, in the same way. Be prepared and look the part. Be business ready. You represent your company. You represent your business. If you are looking for a new job, make sure you look the part. It's one thing to be something on paper, but you represent it all at a glance. So make sure that you look the part. Don't use jargon words. Try to limit technical words, especially in networking events where different people come from different industries, and they might not know all the words that you use on an everyday basis at work or in your business. So remember, keep it simple. Moving on to structure. So we have 2 parts in structure, and that will help you if you're not too sure where to start, how to start. So where to start with networking? So start with your first contacts. If, for example, you are looking for work, you might want to reach out to your close circle, your first contacts, and in conversation, very general conversation, mention what you are looking for or need their help with. It could be, do you know anyone hiring for jobs in the field that you're looking in? Or mentioning that you're really good at something, and you're asking them if they know of someone that would be interested in what you have to deliver. You can also look at online, obviously online groups, more particularly LinkedIn. If you are working in corporate, this is the perfect place We're loving the LinkedIn jobs. If you are looking for a job, great place to look. But they also have a lot of LinkedIn groups, a great way to get connected on there. And similar on Facebook, which applies more for personal group. So if you are looking for support, if you are a mom starting your business and need support for from like-minded moms in business, this Facebook is a perfect place to look for those type of support groups. Also look locally. As I mentioned, the Gaia Network, of which I'm a founder of, is a local networking event for women in business. You have a lot of local associations and support groups as well. So where can you find those networking groups? There's a lot of platforms online, such as Meetup, Eventbrite. We mentioned LinkedIn, Facebook, local social media. I got it, social media. You can look on your local groups on Facebook, for example, and also association organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce and others. So we are on to tip number 9 and 10. We're doing really good with time. Let me see here if we are doing well. Yes, and we have few comments. So what to talk about? That's something that keeps coming up as questions when I present the power of networking. So what do you talk about at a networking event? There's a lot of different things to talk about, and here are a few examples. So you could start a conversation with what has been discussed. If there has been a presentation at the event, you could start a conversation about the presentation, for example. Another way could be another conversation starter could be the venue, the event venue. Have they been to the venue before, or how did they come to the venue? Very simple conversation starter. You could also come up with a compliment, as long as they feel real. Be specific when you give a compliment. And you could also ask questions. They're called peripheral questions. For example, have you read any good books lately? Then gradually shift to your own writing if you are a writer, for example. So this is an example of a conversation starter. But above all, tip number 10, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, and this will get easier as you practice. Make sure that you book those events in your calendar, that you don't cancel them, that you are prepared, and the process of networking will become more enjoyable. Remember, I didn't used to understand the process, the purpose of networking, and I was missing a lot of some of the things that I covered very briefly. I'm well aware that we can go in more details on all those tips, but remember, create meaningful relationships. Don't expect fast results. Connection, relationships, like in everything, in life, in work, in business, they take time. So don't expect fast results. The secret ingredient to networking is authenticity and consistency. Follow up. You've heard this before. After networking events, especially, get in touch back with the person you have connected. I tend to do it straight away at the event. It saves a lot of time if the person is online as well. So those 10 tips, from turning fear of rejection, not being comfortable, not enjoying, not going, or not participating. I hope that those tips helped you turn this into something more enjoyable, something that you can look forward to. Having a clear game plan. Remember those little things that you can have in mind when you go to networking. Feeling a bit more comfortable, growing your network for support, for additional opportunities, for possible referrals and leads. Now, I mentioned it earlier. I've got 3 minutes left. You can check the checklist. That's it. Checklist. So I've put all those points together. You can print it out, and you can tick them. The 10 points, 10 tips are there on the checklist. Go to the group, our Kingston Work-Life Festival. In the units, you can download it there. That's my first freebie. The second freebie I have for you today is, I missed one, is my calendar, a themed yearly calendar where you can book in those networking events and don't cancel them. The last one is I run a small business owner Facebook group. You're very welcome to join. They're currently free to join until the end of June only. And we have group tasks allocated every week where we help you as a small business owner to move your business forward with focused, coached, structured business tasks. So that was me. I hope you enjoyed my 10 tips on the power of networking, that you will try to put into practice some of those tips. Make sure you download the checklist in the units. If you feel that this has been of value to you, please help me and leave me a quick review. If you're on Facebook, CCGM Consulting Limited is my business name. If you're on Trustpilot, you can find me on there too, or on Google and on LinkedIn with my name, Ariane Eva Morin. And just a quick, something very simple, such as today's CCGM Consulting presentation was, and few words. Few comments I have here, really useful, thank you very much. Really helpful again, amazing as well, always. Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much, Ariane from Vicky. And we've got 1 minute left. Whew, I can breathe now. Thank you, everyone, and good luck with networking. I'd love to hear how you are doing. Stay in touch and please leave me some feedback. Thank you so much.